So we all work for Tesco Express. So there's 5 stores locally. The managers and a few of their colleagues got together and sort of looked at what we could do to do something within the community. We do a lot of national charity work, and I think sometimes our customers miss that. And I think where we brought something to our stores to get behind that was local, I think the customers and colleagues, to be fair, really related to them, and you can see what the kind of how generous they were.
So you've got an actual cheque you've been collecting for Burton Hope?
That's right, yeah. So Keith, one of the local store managers, he kind of rounded us all up, and he got us all behind Burton Hope, and showed us what they do and how they help homeless in Burton, and but it's the local side of it that really made the difference. And then we did a lot of different events in the different stores, with like raffles and bake sales and that kind of thing, the general just fundraising. We were also collection points for food, which is where most of the donations came from. So people brought in foods, people bought food, people just came in and gave money as well for the collection points. So I think it amassed a huge amount over the 5 shops, which we're really proud of.
So how did you get this moving?
So another store manager, Keith, he got approached by the charity, and we got together as store managers to see what we could do in store that's going to make the most impact, and we implemented that back in store. So for us, we all agreed that every 2 weeks, throughout our shops, we're going to do a food donation, and so it's a collection point where they can donate whatever they want really. So while we're back in store, we implemented that with our shift leaders. So we did a lot of collection points, did a bit of a raffle going on. I know some of the shops did cake sale, just anything to get a bit of money, and really get people involved for the local community.
So was it easy to get these people involved, or?
No, do you know what? Because it was local,
Yeah.
I think everyone was very interested in it. And, a lot of our customers are regulars, so it just come very naturally. So just by talking to them when we're serving them, we had some leaflets made. And yeah, everyone was really actively looking forward to get involved. And they're asking where it's going and stuff like that. So, it's continuous. It's not just a one-off.
So it was donating food and money?
Yeah, so some customers would come in and just say, look, here's some money to get the food, or they would come in with, and not just food, clothes, because stuff like that goes a long way as well. And it's not just the obvious stuff like, cleaning stuff and toothbrushes, stuff, not just the general, the mixed bag we got.
So why is it the Burton Hope?
We decide that it's every quarter we're doing it.
Yeah.
And every quarter we're going to work for a local charity. Like Kev said, we do a lot of stuff nationwide, but just something that a little bit close to home. And Keith was one that put it on Facebook and got the charities coming forward, and he spoke to them. We spoke to numerous charities, and some of them were in plan throughout the year. So it's just this Burton Hope at this time.
So can you tell us a bit more about the charity, what it involves?
So for the charity, and I think it come at a very good time to work with them, especially throughout the winter, because actually, it's the homeless people in the local area that, and actually, myself and Keith went out one of the evenings, and it's a massive eye-opener, really, because it's going on, but sometimes you're a bit naive, it's going on close to home. I'm actually seeing it was really impactful, and you can talk about it a lot easier as well. So it's really supporting the local homeless, and not just, like I say, through food, but through duvets, pillows, clothes, anything really. And especially, like I say, during the winter, it's very beneficial.
And it's the awareness as well.
Yeah, massively.
As soon as they realised what it was for, and people,
a lot than any of the other charities I've done with,
definitely.
People really got behind this one.
And as well, most of them, because it was at the till, they'd kind of do their shopping, and some guys in my shop would actually go back round and buy things and then put it and then leave. So that's
good.
That was it's very different. I've not experienced that before, so it's nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any more you want to add?
I think I don't know what you guys did. Did you do similar things?
Yeah, just the bake sale,
just the bake
collection
sale.
point.
Yeah.
I think that was it. That's all we did.
Yeah. And we're still, to be fair, we're still trying. We've still got because we did little posters as well. We've still got them at our till.
Yeah.
So we still make people aware that there are people out there that don't have homes and things. So yeah.
What we did at Christmas time, we decorated our Christmas tree. So all the stores got a Christmas tree. They did.
Yeah.
And we decorated ours and made it so they donated 50 pence or something.
Yeah.
And they got to put a wish on the tree. So we
Oh,
did
that's
that as well. To
brilliant.
make a wish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you thought of a lot of ideas.
Yeah, we try to, like
So it was
between
a
our
group
shops.
effort.
Yeah, we do try to. So yeah.
So it was what, 2 weeks, and then it went on to another store.
There's 5 of us all together.
Yeah, so there was 5, so we all did 2-week blocks, didn't we?
Right.
And I think we were the last store.
Yeah, you had
We
it
were, yeah,
last.
we were the last store. So, and that was what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
2.5
finished
weeks
in
ago?
February.
Yeah, maybe a little longer, but yeah. So it's been going on. It's been going on for a while, but you can see
Yeah.
how much we've got.
Yeah, that's
It's a
lovely.
local charity.
Yeah,
It's been well worth it.
I think people give more as well when it's a local charity. It sounds really silly, but you always see like the bigger charities,
Yeah.
and everyone does give to those. But when it's somewhere locally, I think people come together, don't
A
they?
lot of people had already heard of the charity as well,
Yeah.
so they, and when we did like our bake sale, John himself came and talked to the customers, so he came and got involved, and people tend to take to John really well, so.
So Keith, you're the manager of Tesco, so how did this come about?
So as a group of shops, we wanted to do more for the local community rather than just doing everything for our sort of larger community, our larger charitable groups that we work with. So we decided that we wanted to work and put more of our sort of efforts into our local area so that we can help the people that use our shops and use our sort of local facilities. So I put a bit of a plea on Facebook on one of the local groups asking for charities that wanted some assistance. And one of John's volunteers actually got in touch with me with John's details and said to get in touch. So I got in touch with John, and it seemed that there was a need there and we could really do something to really help people in our local area. And it went from there, really.
Right. So, John, can you tell us a bit more about the charity?
Yeah, we're not actually a charity. We are a constituted group. We're not a registered charity, just to get that bit out of the way. The group was actually only set up in August last year. It was set up after I published some apparently horrific photographs. They weren't really that horrific in my opinion, but they were based on work that I did before. I've been doing this for several years. The local paper, the Burton Mail, one of the reporters had phoned me up and asked if they could use these photographs, if they could publish them, which I was quite happy for them to do. They didn't get the worst of the photos I'd got, but nonetheless it seemed to capture the public's imagination, as in that this secret world was going on in their town that they knew nothing about. And it kind of went viral at the time, and we were getting, I was at that time getting contacted by people from all over the country, and I decided to use the momentum to set up a group which has now become Burton Hope. It wasn't at the time. We held a meeting to get people together to see if there was interest. We had a really full house. We set up a committee, and Burton Hope was founded at that time. And since then, the services offered have grown. It's expanded enormously. The number of volunteers that have come forward are expanding literally daily, and I mean daily. We're getting people coming forward to volunteer with us. So, all in all, we are, we're moving forward at a rapid rate, really. We're still a new group, and we're still expanding rapidly.
So you think a lot of people were surprised at the extent of the homelessness?
Burton's a small town, and I really think it shocked people because they saw what was happening. They drive over the bridges in Burton, St Peter's Bridge and the Old Trent Bridge. People are living under there. They're living under there in squalor, in filth. And I think it did really shock people to realise this secret little world was going on. At night, people come out into the towns to beg for food and money, and I think it really, really did. It just captured their imagination, really, and I think, a lot of very kind people came forward, and, as a group, I must say at this point that we do not get funded at all officially. All of our funding, all of our donations come from kind members of the public and businesses such as Tesco's. None of our volunteers are paid. We are all volunteers. It costs us money to do this, each person, because we don't put in expenses for fuel. We don't put in expenses for telephone, so it costs money. Every week we do outreach, and a lot of our volunteers actually bring food and other items at weekends.
Yeah, what are the other items? So we know about food.
Well, food is the obvious one, but at the moment now we have 2 food banks and we have 2 clothes banks. Clothing, we get through an enormous amount of clothing, and there's an enormous amount of work goes into looking after that. We get black bags come in full of donations, and we have to sort through that and put it into categories, into sizes, and it goes into, we've got a big clothes bank down on Anglesey Road, and it's all racked out. It's very neat and tidy, racked out like a shop, and all the bulk of the clothes are kept in there. And then we have another clothes bank in the marketplace where the clothes are actually taken out from to give out each weekend and during the week. But the other items we give out are sleeping bags, tents, literally anything that people need. Also, we do a lot of food parcels during the week, and included in the food parcels are ladies' sanitary products, obviously food, since it's a food parcel, but also toiletries and all the other unseen items. If somebody's in poverty, they need all these items.
They haven't anything.
Really? No, they haven't. We also supply schools with ladies' sanitary products because some of the schoolgirls do not go to school during periods. They have time off because they cannot afford sanitary products, which is rather sad.
So how can these people get in touch with you to donate?
Generally, people come through our Facebook page. We're quite prolific on there. We've got a lot of followers. We've had a lot of write-ups in the local papers, Radio Derby. So I think we're quite well known at the moment by a lot of people. Obviously, we'll be better known now after this interview. I'd like to thank Tesco's and all the Tesco staff for running this appeal. It's been a long appeal. In fact, it seems an awful long time ago that we spoke with Keith about it and it was set up. I believe it's over 10 weeks ago now, since there were 5 stores doing 2 weeks each. We've tried to attend some of the events in the stores. At AMP stores, we've had things such as a Christmas theme in one of the stores where the staff were all dressed up in Christmas outfits. There's been a cake sale, raffles. The staff have really got on board with this and put a lot of effort into this. And the result of it is obviously here today in this room. Thank you, Tesco's.
We're always looking for local groups to help and support. They can be any not-for-profit organisations. Don't have to be registered charities. So anyone that wants to get involved with what we do can get in touch with me at keith.bright@uk.tesco.com or call at 071